Are you interested in or have you been trying to utilize fasting as a tool in order to boost your energy and lose weight? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to make it more effective for you. I'm Jenn, the Holistic Health Boss, your functional diagnostic health practitioner and expert, and I just got done completing my 12th 72-hour fast this past week. But let me tell you, I just didn't jump into fasting overnight. No pun intended. And yes, fasting can produce some really major health benefits, and it's been used for a long time as a therapeutic tool to help to reverse or prevent health conditions such as cancer, diabetes, and other chronic diseases. However, without the right supervision, guidance, or preparation, fasting can do more damage than good. Now, there once was a time when my body couldn't even handle intermittent fasting for 12 hours, let alone 3 full days. I eased into prolonged fasting over time, and I'm going to share with you the 4 simple steps that I took to get you there so you can use fasting as an appropriate health tool as well too. Because the reality is that fasting isn't right for everyone, regardless of how popular it is. I've seen too many clients walk through my virtual practice door frustrated with the lack of results they've seen from their fasting attempts, or feeling wiped out and worse off after actually trying it. In the midst of healing my Hashimoto's and reversing mold illness, my body couldn't tolerate fasting at all. My body was too toxic, depleted, and dysfunctional at the time to actually metabolize fat for fuel and feel good while fasting, even for very short periods. Fasting has been a part of human existence probably from the beginning of time, as our ancestors roamed the earth, alternating through times of feast or famine and hibernation during the winter months. However, our modern day culture has altered our fasting instincts with the introduction of fast food, drive-thrus, processed foods with exceptionally long shelf lives, and high carbohydrate and sugar diets that leave you craving more food than ever before. To top it all off, the majority of our modern day food leads to blood sugar issues, hormone imbalances, and liver and gut dysfunction, which negatively impact your ability to actually utilize fasting effectively as a tool. And then there are toxins and stressors that our bodies encounter every day, which alter hormonal balance and other metabolic processes within the body, leaving the body less equipped for effective fasting. A body that was once born with a natural ability to tolerate fasting no longer can, due to the evolution of the food industry and our environment. However, in this video, like I said, I want to give you 4 simple steps that you can actually take to get your body back into fasting shape and to make fasting more effective for you, to help you reach your ideal health and weight and energy goals that you have in mind and that fasting can help you achieve. Now, let's break down what fasting actually is first. When it comes to intermittent fasting, especially as it relates to the keto diet, there are basically 2 different schools of thought. One is that fasting means not eating anything containing calories or nutrients for a period of time. This could be something like water fasting, for example. And 2 is that fasting means not eating any sources of immediate energy, such as carbs or proteins. So sometimes fats are actually okay. Both approaches focus on training the body to primarily utilize fat stores for energy to become fat adapted. And the standard American diet, and even most other whole food or primal diets such as paleo and Whole30, kind of constantly supply the body with readily available fuel sources in the forms of carbohydrates such as veggies, fruits, and nuts, and proteins like meats and beans, etc. So training the body to be fat adapted requires limiting sources to these readily available types of fuel and forcing the body to tap into its own fuel storage, which is fat. Then there are prolonged fasting periods, which typically exceed 24 hours and can go on for days. At this point, one's body ideally should be fat adapted in order to access its own fuel source so you can feel your best during these longer stints. With prolonged fasting, there are also multiple schools of thought here. Some do, again, water only fast, while others might include a daily cup of bone broth like I do sometimes. Most approaches produce the health benefits, and you should choose one that works best for you and is in alignment with your goals and what your body needs. Now, I use prolonged fasting as a tool to restore and repair my digestive tract every few months. The cells of the intestinal lining have the ability to completely regenerate within 72 hours if you avoid consuming food, giving you a whole new, stronger, healthier digestive tract. Having a cup of bone broth at night and taking daily supplements helps to restore the gut and maximize fat metabolism for additional benefits, such as toxin elimination, hormone health, energy, and sleep. But as I cautioned earlier, fasting isn't for everyone, at least not in the current state of health that you might be in. It's always important to consult with your health professional before trying any method of fasting. And before you jump right in, I want you to make sure that you follow these 4 simple steps to get your body into fasting shape and to make fasting more effective for you. 1 is test, don't guess. It's better to know about underlying hormone or nutrient imbalances before you dive into fasting. At a minimum, check your thyroid, cortisol, estrogen, testosterone, and melatonin levels, along with your vitamin and mineral balance before starting a fasting routine. If any imbalances exist, lay the foundation to reverse them with a therapeutic diet, adequate sleep, appropriate exercise, stress reduction, and nourishing supplements before jumping into fasting. Number 2 is to fuel up with fat. Slowly ease your body into the transition by fasting with fats as your primary fuel source. Fat is not readily available as fuel when ingested, so it still requires your body to tap into its own fat fuel sources. Allow yourself to maybe have a fat-only meal in the morning, such as a coffee or matcha tea with ghee and or full-fat coconut milk. This will deliver some of the essential nutrients your body needs so it can still function at its potential while staying away from carbs or proteins that can hijack that fat for fuel metabolism. Training your body to use fat for fuel is the key to having energy and sleeping well while you are fasting. Step number 3 is to ease into it. Don't go for the gold right from the get-go. Start by making dinner your last meal, fasting overnight, and gradually extending out the time you eat breakfast in the morning a few days per week. This is basically what's called intermittent fasting. I started, for example, by making sure that I ended dinner by 7:30 and my first meal was then not until 9:30 or 10 a.m. the next morning, resulting in a 14-hour fasting period. As your body adapts, your energy will improve, letting you know when you can extend the length of your fasting window. And women, I want you to note that women's hormones particularly are sensitive to food deprivation, so it's best to fast maybe every other day instead of every day in the beginning when getting started, and to honor your body's needs definitely around certain times in your cycle. And here is simple step number 4, salt and supplement. When avoiding food, you're also avoiding access to nutrients, so it's essential to supplement what you're missing. When fasting, supplementing with vitamins and minerals will help to maintain sleep quality, keep your hormones happy and your energy balanced, and support the process of fat metabolism. Our ancestors salted meats to cure them for food storage and ate every part of the animal, like the organs and the cartilage. So the nutrient values in their bodies were much higher than ours, even when they were forced to fast in times of famine. So while fasting, I always continue to take my daily supplements to ensure my body has the nutrients it needs to actually get the job done. Certain herbal teas also, such as my favorite peak tea, also help to support the body while fasting. Doing prolonged fasting periods, I will have 1 to 2 cups of black or green tea in the morning and 1 cup of green tea in the afternoon. Plus, I add in an extra packet of my favorite electrolytes from Element Tea or Element to maintain hydration, balance cortisol, and boost energy. And I also take specific binders to help capture toxins that are being released from fat, which is where they are stored as it's broken down for fuel, to make sure they are eliminated and not recirculated. You'll know that your body is ready for fasting when your energy is even all day long and your sleep is spectacular, especially when you start to lengthen time in between meals. Now, we want to think of the body as a well-oiled machine that is ready to adapt to anything we throw at it, but that's not generally the case, considering all the variables that can impact our health in this modern day world. So with most diet trends, people have a tendency to dive all in without considering if their body is ready for it. And when it doesn't work, they then tend to give it up. And often it's not the diet that didn't work, but something else that is going on underneath the hood that got in the way. And that's why it is always better to test, not guess, in order to figure out what exactly is right for your body, so you don't go spinning your wheels, wasting money and time on failed attempts or health improvement strategies that aren't actually right for you in the moment. So if you want to assess your readiness for fasting or to figure out what foods are right for your body so it can function at its potential, then I would like to invite you to get on my client waiting list for a discovery call. And in the meantime, I will also send you access to a curated list of my colleagues who can help you right away by clicking on the links below. Now, I would love to know if you've tried fasting or if you're going to try fasting now with these 4 simple steps that I just gave you. Go ahead and drop a comment. And I hope you found this video incredibly insightful. I will see you in the next video.